Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. GM Omar Khan speaks out on Steelers QB situation. The Pittsburgh Steelers entered another NFL offseason this year with major questions behind center. Quarterbacks Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are both unrestricted free agents, which has led to speculation that the Steelers could re-sign one or the other or add another quarterback entirely. While speaking to reporters on February 25, Steelers general manager Omar Khan didn't rule out any of that happening. The reality is last year we went into this understanding that we had 3 quarterbacks on the last year of their deal, and here we are, Khan said, via TribLive.com's Joe Rutter. Until we get one of those guys, or 2 of those guys, or some combination of them signed up, all options are on the table. Had conversations with both Russ's people and Justin's representatives. With that, we'll see where it goes. Off-season reports have been mixed on what the Steelers will do at quarterback for 2025. That could be because the Steelers have yet to make a decision. A lot of the chatter about Wilson potentially coming back to Pittsburgh this offseason came after the quarterback appeared on the Pat McAfee show on January 22. During his appearance, Wilson shared how much he enjoyed Pittsburgh and how he wants to return. Most other reporters, though, have indicated the Steelers prefer to sign Fields. The Steelers organization, though, has not publicly said which quarterback they are targeting. On February 8, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler described the Steelers as split between whether to re-sign Wilson or Fields. I've seen a bunch of ex-Steelers players here in New Orleans, many of whom are well-versed in Steelers happenings. They told me that some people in Pittsburgh's building prefer Fields over Russell Wilson, who is also a free agent, as the starter, which I had heard previously, due to age and mobility, wrote Fowler. Coach Mike Tomlin seems to have a loyalty to Wilson that could lead the team in that direction, though. Plus, Fields could have a sneaky good market and price himself out of Pittsburgh. However, Fox Sports' Jay Glazer predicted on February 5 the Steelers will ultimately not sign Wilson or Fields. Pundits have linked the Steelers to Aaron Rodgers and Daniel Jones in free agency. Analyst says Steelers quietly have their eyes on signing notable free agent offensive linemen. With all the focus on quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback, and defensive line, the Pittsburgh Steelers' biggest free agent splash could come along the offensive line. NFL Network analyst Brian Baldinger shared perhaps the team's truly best-kept secret during a recent appearance on the In the Huddle podcast with Jason La Canfora and Carl Dukes. Their number 1 pick last year was hurt all year, Fatanu, he's coming back, Baldinger said in a conversation about protecting QB Matthew Stafford in a hypothetical trade. They're probably gonna hit, I've talked to people in Pittsburgh. There's a certain free agent offensive lineman that's gonna be available out there that they have their eyes on. Baldinger didn't detail which offensive lineman the Steelers could be pursuing. The top name on the market is Kansas City Chiefs OG Trey Smith. Though the team seems happy with the job 2024 rookie Mason McCormick did filling in for an injured James Daniels, adding Smith would be a massive upgrade at improving a young offensive line. It won't come cheap. The guard market has skyrocketed in recent years, and Smith is projected to receive upwards of $20 million in average yearly value. But it would be the game-changing move to turn Pittsburgh's offensive line into one of the best if young players like Otis Broderick-Jones and Troy Fatanu develop. Per Omar Khan Tuesday, Jones is slated to return to left tackle, with Dan Moore Jr. expected to leave in free agency. But could Pittsburgh look to make a massive move on the blind side? Jones regressed and struggled throughout his sophomore NFL season. Adding a high-end tackle would close the door on him starting this year and seems less likely than Pittsburgh adding a guard, but Baldinger's comments leave everything to speculation. No big move should be coming at center after Zach Frazier's solid rookie campaign. Other notable pending free agent guards include Mekhi Becton and Robert Hunt, the latter the team evaluated as they drafted Kevin Dotson in 2020. The Steelers have invested heavily in the trenches under Khan and assistant general manager Andy Weidel. For the first time in franchise history, they used back-to-back first-round picks on offensive tackles and spent 3 of their first 5 selections in 2024 on the position. While adding a big-money lineman would be unexpected, it would also be consistent with the team's new philosophy. Nothing else matters until the offensive line is set. And if Pittsburgh isn't going to land a high-end quarterback, they'll need a top-tier front 5 to lead the charge. Steelers select RB Omarion Hampton in Bucky Brooks' latest mock draft. The NFL offseason is fully underway with the NFL Scouting Combine starting this week and the 2025 NFL Draft just 2 months away. That means it's mock draft season. The Pittsburgh Steelers have plenty of routes they could pursue with the 21st overall pick, whether they choose to beef up their defensive line with a big tackle or add some explosiveness to their passing game with a first-round wide receiver. But in his latest mock draft, former player and NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks has the Steelers going a different direction in the first round. The Steelers need an elite running back to impose their will on opponents in the way Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith envision, Brooks wrote. Hampton is an A-plus talent with the size, 6 foot, 220 pounds, athleticism and raw power to thrive as a workhorse in a ground-and-pound offense. While it might be surprising to see the Steelers selecting a first-round running back who isn't Boise State's Ashton Jeanty, Brooks isn't the first analyst to have the Steelers landing Omarion Hampton. Todd McShay paired Hampton and the Steelers in his latest mock draft, and Daniel Jeremiah ranks him as the 19th overall prospect in the draft. Hampton checks off pretty much all the boxes for an NFL starting caliber back. He's got the size and strength to run between the tackles 15 times a game, and he's got enough speed to beat defenders outside and break big runs. He was a true workhorse back for North Carolina, racking up over 250 rush attempts, 1,500 yards, and 15 touchdowns in each of his last 2 seasons. The question is whether he has the tools that could make a truly great NFL running back, not just a good one. As we wrote in our profile of Hampton, he might not have the top-end speed to outrun NFL defenders, something Najee Harris struggles with. Other analysts have referenced his inconsistent vision. He's a really strong running back prospect, just not an elite, Grand Slam prospect like Bijan Robinson or Ashton Jeanty. With Najee Harris likely gone this offseason, the Steelers will need to add another strong RB option to replace him. Jaylen Warren can split carries and catch passes, but he doesn't have the size or talent to tote the rock 20-plus times per game. Most analysts expect the Steelers to grab a running back in the draft, just not in the first round. This running back class is considered one of the deepest ever, indicating that a lot of NFL teams could be really happy waiting to take a back until day 2. While Hampton going in the first round is picking up steam, there are other options, like Iowa's Caleb Johnson and Ohio State's Travion Henderson, with explosive playability who will likely fall to the 2nd or 3rd round. It'll be hard for Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin to justify drafting another first-round running back when there are so many other pressing needs for the team that were revealed last season. That being said, if Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin want to double down on their claims last season and turn into a team that bullies defenses by relentlessly pounding the rock, drafting another first-round running back might not be the craziest thing. And you, fan? What do you think of Omarion Hampton's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.